Chances are you've heard of this game. One of the greatest games in the Super Nintendo and one of the best RPGs of all time. But did you know it had a sequel on the SNES? It was released in Japan in 1996 for the Satellaview, an add-on for the SNES that allowed you to download content such as games and magazines onto your Super Nintendo. Radical Dreamers was never ported to any other console, or translated into English, until 2003 when a translation patch was created by Demiforce. But still, many Chrono Trigger fans don't know the game exists. This game is very different from the other two games in the Chrono Trigger series. The first thing you'll notice is the game is text-based. It's kind of like early text adventure games, only with more detailed storytelling, pictures, and music. Now I'll try to explain the story of the game while trying to avoid major spoilers, since chances are you haven't played this game and I really don't want to ruin it for you. Although some think this game is an incorrect retelling of the events of Chrono Cross, many, including myself, think this game takes place years after Chrono Trigger, in a different dimension that mirrors the one in Chrono Cross. That's what has a lot of the same characters and a similar story. A lot has happened since the events of Chrono Trigger, including the fall of Guardia and the death of several characters from Chrono Trigger. The game stars Surge, who you play as and is narrating the story, Kid, a short-tempered female thief with an Australian accent, and Madrill, who looks a lot like someone else you might remember from Chrono Trigger, not to give away anything. You begin the game traveling through the woods toward Viper Manor to steal a mysterious object known as the Frozen Flame. You'll have your first battle with a group of wolves roaming the forest. Immediately you'll notice the battle sequences are very different from Chrono Trigger. Instead of a menu of commands, you get options like dodge or attack, that vary on the situation you're in battle. Whether or not your maneuver is successful is random, but some actions seem to have a higher success rate than others. Sometimes you just have to avoid damage while you wait for Madrill to finish his spell. You also take damage and have health, but unlike in Chrono Trigger, you can't see your health on screen. Instead, after battle, your character will say something about his physical condition. If he says something like, "I'm barely hurt at all," that means you're in pretty good shape. But if he says something like, "My body is screaming at me from all the cuts and bruises," you probably want to look into healing sometime soon. There's also a point system for your relationship with Kid. If you find a gem or attack aggressively in battle, your relationship will go up. But if you piss her off or act cowardly in battle, your relationship will go down. You need a fairly good relationship with Kid by the time you get to the final boss to get the best ending. The main gameplay is very RPG-like. You explore Viper Manor, finding items, discovering secrets, meeting new characters, and escaping traps. The game is very well written, which is a good thing when a game is mostly text. You really get to know the characters, and there's a lot of hidden comical moments too. There are background graphics and visuals in most areas that look great and add to the experience and feel of the game. The game also has awesome music. If you've played Chrono Cross, you'll recognize a lot of the music that has been remade for that game, but often there are just sounds, like the howling of the wind through the atrium, or the sound of rusty gears turning in the clock tower. Besides the dark Castlevania-like theme of the game, it's a lot less cartoony than its predecessor. That is until you beat the game and unlock the different scenarios, which are like different ways the story could have played out, resulting in different endings. Some of them are almost yours, such as the one where Kid gets turned into a giant Mandora monster and goes on a rampage, eventually destroying Viper Manor. Others though, like Super Extreme Alpha Cosmos Police Chase EX Ultra, are just not meant to be taken seriously. Overall, I think this is a great little known gem, and even though the only way to play it currently is through emulation, if you don't mind a little reading, I think you'll enjoy it. Oh, and one more thing. This game contains possibly the greatest secret in any video game ever.